The next morning I want to talk over Huang, a Chan master from China, 800 after Christ. Very, very clear. As you know, Buddhism went to China with Bodhidharma, they say 600 after Christ, and it became a great flowering. And the Buddhism meeting with Taoism in China created Chan. It's called Chan in Chinese and Zen in Japanese. And Huang is one of these old masters. And it's not really his name, but it's the mountain he lived on that is called Huang. And you had to imagine that he's talking to a congregation of Buddhist monks, hundreds, thousands. There were so many, that it's totally different from today. It's spreading all over Korea, Japan, and Asia. And it was Mahayana, it was a great vehicle. The great vehicle, the Mahayana, went to Tibet and became Tibetan Buddhism, and it went to China and became Zen and Chan. And the Hinayana, the small vehicle, went to Thailand and became the yellow monks, the smaller path. Sorry. So we'll see. I just read it up first, and then we'll see. And Leland, you had to you had to listen to some of it again. But I will say something else. The master said to me, all the Buddhas and all sentient beings are nothing but the one mind, beside which nothing exists. The mind which is without beginning is unborn and indestructible. It is not green nor yellow, and has neither form nor appearances. It does not belong to the categories of things which exist or do not exist, nor can it be thought of in terms of new or old. It's neither long nor short, big nor small. It transcends all limits, measures, names, traces, and comparisons. It is that which you see before you begin to reason about it, and you won't fall into error. It's like the boundless void, which cannot be fathomed or measured. The one mind alone is the Buddha. And there is no distinction between the Buddha and the sentient beings. But the sentient beings are attached to forms, and so seek externally for Buddhahood. By their very seeking they lose it, for that is using the Buddha to seek for the Buddha, and using mind to grasp mind. Even though they do their utmost for a full eon, they will not be able to attain to it. They do not know that if they just put a stop to conceptual thoughts and forget their anxiety, the Buddha will appear before them. For this mind is the Buddha, and the Buddha is all living beings. It is not the less for being manifested in ordinary beings, nor is it greater for being manifested in the Buddhas. All the Buddhas and sentient beings are nothing but the one mind beside which nothing exists. Now you had to understand that in those days they talked about the Buddha like we're talking about Jesus. And because people are so identified with the personality, they personalize it. So they keep on personalizing this term Buddha into a person, like we keep on personalizing Christ into a person. Christ is not a person. But because we are so identified with the personality, we cannot imagine anything else. Oh, Christ. Oh yeah, he lived 2,000 years ago. No, he did not. He's here now. There is nothing but Christ. We call Christ what they call Buddha. But the moment we start personalizing it, we miss the point. So Huang says all the Buddhas and all sentient beings are nothing but the one mind beside which nothing exists. And this one mind is the Buddha. We could also say this one mind is the Christ. This mind is without beginning, is unborn and indestructible. That's why it is beyond any kind of ideas. Because everything you have ideas of is concepts, and it's something that can be compared. It's something that arises and disappears. It's fleeting. Everything we talk about in this room or wherever is not the mind itself, it's appearances. It's its appearance. Whatever we can talk about and see and understand is not really the true mind, it's its appearance. So if I say to people now, if you can imagine a state of non-conceptual awareness, this is still a concept. Because you are talking about something you call non-conceptual awareness. Oh, it's presence. Oh, it's spaciousness. These are all concepts. And you don't get it. It's just ideas. Could you imagine to be the non-conceptual mind, the non-conceptual awareness, to be it? Don't talk about it. When you talk about it, you don't know anything. Because it's just concepts. Non-conceptual awareness, wow, I really understand it now. Yes, that's great. I have really got it. You have not got it unless you become it. There's a big difference between understanding what non-conceptual awareness is and be non-conceptual awareness. When you are non-conceptual awareness, you cannot say anything about it. So the pure mind is non-conceptual awareness. It's not just awareness when you have got rid of all the words and all the concepts, and you're standing there, you, this damn person, talking about this non-conceptual awareness. There's still duality. You are not there talking about non-conceptual awareness, then it's still an object. And this is the crucial point here. Everybody can understand what non-conceptual awareness is. Yes, of course, I just look out and I just allow my awareness to be absolutely empty of anything. You can all do that. You can look out and just open your eyes and be totally without any ideas or any concepts. But still you're only halfway. You had to be it. Then you will know that this mind is without beginning, is unborn and indestructible. If you look in today when you walk, try to look with empty eyes on everything when you walk in the forest. With empty eyes, I means you're holding no ideas in your mind when you look. Just look absolutely empty-minded, as if you don't know any. Look as if you're an idiot knowing nothing, or a newborn child. then you start having the look of the Buddha. This is how you can approach this pure mind. Start just looking with empty eyes. Then it may open. Then in the beginning you will look out and you will find some kind of mysterious presence behind all appearances. And you will start saying, oh, now I start knowing something about the non-conceptual awareness, because that's the emptiness I kind of feel behind everything I look at. And like Nukunu says, it becomes transparent, open. This is the beginning. But then suddenly it comes into you. It comes into every cell in your body. Like it permeates this body also. And still, there's no word for it. It's just something, I am it. It's not out there. I am it. It's not something I'm seeing out there. Because then it's still a concept. But when it comes into you, and the body is also just in that soup, then you feel a presence of something which you know you are. And it's so intimate. This mind we are talking about here is so damn intimate. It's the heart. It's closer than anything you ever experienced.